Namaste and welcome, students. We have started a discussion of the human reproductive system. In the previous session, we have had a detailed look at the structure of the testes. Now we will have a look at detailed look at the accessory duct system and the accessory glands in the male reproductive system. Accessory duct system in the male begins with a structure called as rete testis. Rete testis is as such located within the testes itself. So let's once again draw a diagram of the testes. We said that the testes are approximately oval and egg-shaped. अब if this is anterior side, और हमेशा ये reference याद रखना जरूरी है. So assuming that this is the anterior side, धीरज, Namaskar and welcome all dear students. We have been carrying out our discussion of the human reproductive system. In the previous session, we have had a look at a discussion to describe the structure of the testes. We today will go ahead with structure of the different accessory duct system parts and the accessory glands in the male reproductive system. Accessory duct system in the male consists of the following parts. We will list out these parts. So ये है rete testis, R-E-T-E testis, R-E-T-E-T-E-S-T-I-S. The word rete means reticulum या network. So this is something to do with something of a network. Very soon we will see why we are calling it that. इसके बाद जो next structure आता है वो है vasa, V-A-S-A. The word vasa means something that is in the form of vessels or very fine tubes. So vasa efferentia, E-F-F-E-R-E-N-T-I-A, vasa efferentia. Efferent means going away from or taking out. So vasa efferentia. After that we have epididymis, E-P-I-D-I-D-Y-M-I-S, epididymis. And then you have the vas deferens, D-E-F-E-R-E-N-S. इसके बाद जो कुछ स्ट्रक्चर्स आते हैं वो थोड़े से ग्लैंड से भी रिलेटेड है. सो द duct system and the gland system we will be studying together today. So some of these parts I have first listed out. After that we will be having some certain structures such as ejaculatory duct and urethra. These we will have a look at a little later. Let's first start off with our discussion of these structures. So let's clear this. To understand how these structures appear, ये कैसे दिखते हैं, ये समझने के लिए we will draw a diagram of the testes. Rete testis begins from within the testis itself. So let's once again draw our structure of approximately oval egg-shaped testes. इसमें इस तरफ anterior है, so person is facing this side and this is his back side, posterior side. ऐसे situation में we have the testicular lobules within the testes like this, and within these testicular lobules, we have seen in the previous class, you have the highly coiled seminiferous tubules fitted inside this. एक एक टेस्टिकुलर लोब्यूल में कभी कभी सिर्फ एक या दो ही हो सकते हैं, कभी कभी 2, 3 या 4 भी हो सकते हैं seminiferous tubules. इस तरीके से बहुत सारे seminiferous tubules, they will be progressing in this direction. In all, in one testis, there are about 200 to 300 testicular lobules. Within a lobule, on an average, anywhere between 1 to 4, say about 2 to 3 भी माने जाए, तो there are about 6 to 700 or sometimes 650 to 750 total number of seminiferous tubules. इतने सारे seminiferous tubules जो है, इनके exit points पीछे की तरफ, posterior end की तरफ धीरे धीरे निकलना शुरू हो जाएगा. Through all of these, sperms are going to be produced and brought forward in this direction. Forward as in from this blind end towards this direction. This is actually the posterior side. So in that sense, they are actually being taken backwards. Now, as they come here, the openings of the seminiferous tubules start joining up with one another and again branching out and then again joining, forming a dense branching network. Technically, इस टाइप के नेटवर्क को हम anastomosing नेटवर्क बोलते हैं, जिसमें दो स्ट्रक्चर्स आ गए, दो तरफ से आके ज्वाइन हो गए, ज्वाइन होकर फिर एक बार स्प्लिट हो गए, स्प्लिट होने के बाद किसी और स्ट्रक्चर के बाद साथ फिर से ज्वाइन हो गए, फिर एक बार स्प्लिट हो गए. इस तरीके से स्प्लिटिंग, ज्वाइनिंग, ज्वाइनिंग, रीजॉइनिंग एंड सो ऑन, इस तरीके से जो नेटवर्क बनता है, दैट इज कॉल्ड एनास्टोमोसिस. एंड रेटी टेस्टिस बिल्कुल ऐसे ही है. बिकॉज ऑफ दिस देयर इज अ लॉट ऑफ क्रिस क्रॉसिंग एंड रीजॉइनिंग, ज्वाइनिंग एटसेट्रा. इस तरीके से इस एरिया में जो एक डेंस नेटवर्क बनेगा, दैट विल बी कॉल्ड एज द रेटी टेस्टिस, द reticulum or the network within the testis, reti testis. इस तरीके से बहुत सारा ब्रांचिंग, रीब्रांचिंग होते होते इसमें से अप्रोक्सीमेटली कभी 10, कभी 11, कभी 12, कभी थोड़े ज्यादा 15, 16, approximately anywhere between 8 to 10 to a little more, sometimes even 15, 16 up to 18 also. Final leaving vessels where small tube-like structures will leave from various positions and all move towards the apex, towards the top pole of the testis. ये जो बाहर जाने वाली final vessels है या final fine tubes है, these are called as vasa. The word vasa means vessels or very fine tubes. So vasa efferentia, because they are taking away the sperms, efferent, moving out. So vasa efferentia, outgoing small fine tubes. These are about a dozen, kabhi thode kam, kabhi thode zyada. They will all converge towards this top pole, superior upper end of the testes, and start joining with one another. Finally, 2-3 vessels will be left, yeah, 2-3 tube-like structures will be left, which will then start a very, very highly coiled journey once again. दोबारा इनका extremely coiled structure शुरू हो जाएगा. धीरे धीरे ये 2-3 भी complete merge होके as one single tube-like structure, which is again very, very highly coiled. They will continue along the posterior margin of the testes and all the way down towards the lower end. So ऊपर से लेकर नीचे तक. Now this we said is approximately 2-inch space, but इतनी 2-inch space की इतनी margin में the total length of this structure, which we now call as epididymis, इस structure का नाम है epididymis. Epididymis is this coiled structure. This can be as long as 6 meters. That's a very, very long structure. इसको अगर uncoil करके straighten किया जाए तो वो approximately 20 feet तक लंबा हो सकता है. So obviously this is a very, very long structure, and that is why epididymis is useful for storing of the sperms. So रेटिटेस्टिस में से निकलते हुए वासा एफरेंशिया से होते हुए इस coiled epididymis में sperms इकट्ठे हो जाएंगे and they will remain in the epididymis for some time till sexual activity takes place and till they are to be released. तब तक वो यहाँ पे they can stay and spend some time, they can be stored. So there is no separate gland for storing the sperms in the case of humans. They are stored within the epididymis itself. Finally, from the epididymis, a slightly thick and now not coiled but a straight cord-like structure will move along the margin again and come out to emerge out from the testes. So this structure, please forgive the error in the drawing, but ये इस तरीके से ट्यूब-like structure यहाँ से आगे निकल जाएगा. This is called as vas deferens. DEFERENS. Vas deferens, together with other structures like testicular artery, testicular vein, testicular nerve, is enclosed in a bundle of structures which are taking all these important structures towards the testes. This is called spermatic cord. All of these together, testicular artery, vein, nerve and vas deferens, इन सबको एक बंडल के फॉर्म में इकट्ठा रखने वाले स्ट्रक्चर को कहते हैं स्पर्मेटिक कॉर्ड. SPERMATIC, स्पर्मेटिक कॉर्ड, CORD. सो स्पर्मेटिक कॉर्ड में से vas deferens इमर्ज होना शुरू हो जाएगा. इट विल लीव द स्क्रोटम थ्रू द स्पर्मेटिक कॉर्ड, देन इट विल मूव साइडवेज इन द एब्डोमिनल वॉल and will get into the abdomen from both sides. एक राइट साइड की तरफ से और एक लेफ्ट साइड की तरफ से, दोनों तरफ से दो vas deferens एब्डोमेन के अंदर towards the midline converge होना शुरू हो जाएंगे. In the abdomen and in the abdomen and pelvis region there is the urinary bladder. Urinary bladder के पास में we find that the two vas deferens start converging. They come right, moving forward from the sides and moving a little forward as well as towards the midline. There, close to the urinary bladder are two finger-shaped glands, a part of the accessory glands, which we call as seminal vesicles. यहाँ से आगे इनकी जर्नी कैसे होती है, वो सेमिनल वेसिकल्स के आउटलेट के साथ कैसे जुड़ते हैं, we will see very shortly. This, let's quickly recap the pathway within the testes. From the seminiferous tubules, retitestis, from the retitestis, vasa efferentia, from the vasa efferentia, epididymis, from the epididymis, the vas deferens to leave the scrotum, enter into the abdomen and converge towards the midline. Vas deferens will carry the sperms when required from the testes through the scrotum and then into the abdominal space and towards the center, the midline of the abdomen. Epididymis जो highly coiled है, इसके तीन parts माने जा सकते हैं. एक towards the head end, that is the head part, the main part in the center, body part, and the last part towards the end, tail part. So head, body and tail, इसको थोड़ा सा ग्रीक टर्म्स में हेड वाला जो पार्ट है उसको caput, that is the Greek word. So caput epididymis. Body is corpus, so that can be called as corpus epididymis. And tail is cauda, so that can be called as CAUDA, cauda epididymis. इस तरीके से एपिडिडाइमिस के तीन पार्ट्स भी माने जा सकते हैं. इफ पॉसिबल इसको याद रखिए, ये एनसीईआरटी टेक्स्ट में तो नहीं है, सो स्ट्रिक्टली स्पीकिंग नहीं पूछना चाहिए, पर कभी कभी थोड़ा सा बाहर का भी पूछते हैं. सो ट्राई एंड रिमेंबर दीज पार्ट्स. So this is our structure within the testes. Now the further pathway afterwards as well as the accessory glands, let's try to have a look at that. So इसको मैं clear कर रहा हूं. अब abdomen में, so this is suppose that male individual and thigh region, groin region, ये scrotum, यहाँ दो testes, दोनों तरफ से दो vas deferens, they will leave the scrotum, come out, move along the abdominal wall through the inguinal canal. There is a structure in the abdominal wall over here known as inguinal canal. So they will move through the inguinal canal, enter into the abdomen and pelvis cavity and start coming towards the midline. Somewhere inside there is over here the bladder, to which the ureters are bringing urine from the kidneys. So आप ये समझने के लिए बेसिक डायग्राम थोड़ा सा समझ लीजिए. एंड यहाँ से आगे from the bladder the urethra is going to arise and it is going to be covered by the prostate for some time. Thereafter it is going to be within the penis and then it will be emerging on the outside. So ये आगे का स्ट्रक्चर थोड़ा और डिटेल में देखने के लिए यहाँ से आगे अब हम पार्ट्स डिस्क्राइब करना शुरू करते हैं. So let's clear this. Let's see. दोनों तरफ से दो vas deferens आ गए. Coming close to the urinary bladder. Near the urinary bladder, we have two finger-like glands shaped elongated like fingers, one on one side and the other on the other side. These are called seminal vesicles. SEMINALVESICLES. Seminal vesicles. Paired है, दो है, इसलिए seminal vesicles. As the name suggests, seminal यानी कि semen produce करने वाले. So the male reproductive fluid is called semen. ज्यादातर semen का contribution इस ग्लैंड से आता है, सेमिनल वेसिकल से आता है. ऑलमोस्ट 65 to 70% of the volume of semen comes from seminal vesicles. So this is our first pair of accessory glands. Testes are the main glands. They are going to be the gonads. They are going to be producing the male gamete. And they're also going to be producing the main male hormone, testosterone. But the reproductive process is also helped by some other glands, which we call as accessory glands. जिसमें से पहला है seminal vesicles. ये paired है, दो है. Each is finger-like and elongated about 2 inches, 5 centimeters के आसपास length है. At the tip of this, the secretions from the seminal vesicles will be released through a very short extended tube-like structure, and the tube-like structure coming from the seminal vesicle will be joined by the vas deferens. So दोनों साइड को इस तरफ से ये एक vas deferens आ गया है और ये seminal vesicle का आउटलेट है. यहाँ इस seminal vesicle का आउटलेट है, ये इस vas deferens से जुड़ गया है. This way, by joining the outlets of seminal vesicles with vas deferens, we get a structure which we call as ejaculatory duct. EJACULATORY, ejaculatory duct, DUCT. Ejaculatory duct on one side, ejaculatory duct on other side. Ejaculatory ducts are short, just about 2 to 2.5 centimeters. They will again converge towards the midline. यहाँ पे यूरिनरी ब्लैडर का स्फिंक्टर है एंड यूरिन इसमें से बाहर निकलती है टू एंटर इनटू द यूरेथ्रा. सो यहाँ पर व्हाट वी फाइंड इज ejaculatory ducts from both sides join and together they enter into the urethra as well. यहाँ से आगे यूरिन का पाथवे और रिप्रोडक्टिव फ्लूइड्स का पाथवे एक कॉमन पाथवे है. मेल्स में फ्रॉम यूरेथ्रा ऑनवर्ड्स, यूरेथ्रा कैरीज यूरिन ऑल्सो, यूरेथ्रा कैरीज स्पर्म्स ऑल्सो एंड सीमेन ऑल्सो. सो सेमिनल वेसिकल्स के दोनों तरफ से वास डिफरेंस के साथ जुड़कर जो इजैकुलेटरी डक्ट्स बन गए, इजैकुलेटरी डक्ट्स दोनों साइड के मिडलाइन में कन्वर्ज होकर साथ ही में यूरेथ्रा के साथ भी जुड़ गए. सो टू पाइपलाइन लाइक स्ट्रक्चर्स, शॉर्ट, joining with each other as well as entering into the urethra. That will be the duct system. Moving beyond this, the initial part of the urethra is surrounded by a very short, small, approximately नींबू के size का lemon sized gland which we call as prostate gland. So that gland थोड़ा सा shape pear जैसा है, broad at one end, narrow at the other, slightly conical, but size is not very big. Size is just about that of a nimbu, lemon के जितना. That is what we call as the prostate gland. Prostate, prostate gland. Prostate gland single है. You don't have two prostates. It is a single gland with some lobes in between. Seminal vesicles paired है, एक है, दो है, right side, left side. But prostate single है. Now, through the prostate, the urethra is traveling. It is contained within the prostate. It is passing through the body of the prostate and emerging out, and very soon it will enter into the penis. Penis is for copulation. Penis is the copulatory structure and it is visible outside. So, it is an external genitalia. So, for a male, as we know, just as there is the scrotum, there is also the penis visible outside, and this part within the penis is the urethra going inside the penis, taking the urine out through the tip, the urethral meatus, opening of the urethra at the apex, at the tip of the penis. So वैसे ही ये urethra बीच में से penis के अंदर से travel होते हुए आगे जाएगी. Penis के डिटेल स्ट्रक्चर के पास हम थोड़ी देर के बाद पहुंचेंगे, एंड देयर वी विल डिस्कस दैट इट विल ओपन आउट थ्रू द एपेक्स एट द टिप थ्रू द यूरेथ्रल मियाटस. सो पार्ट ऑफ द यूरेथ्रा इज विद इन द प्रोस्टेट, प्रोस्टैटिक यूरेथ्रा. पार्ट ऑफ इट इज विद इन द पीनस, पेनाइल यूरेथ्रा, एंड देयर इज अ स्मॉल जंक्शन रीजन वेयर द टू आर joining. That is the membranous part of the urethra, where we find two small glands approximately the size of a pea, spherical pea, मटर के दाने के जितने approximately, paired glands, which we can call as either bulbourethral glands or they can also be called as Cowper's glands. So Bulbourethral, bulbourethral, also called Cowper's, Kowper''s, Cowper's glands. Seminal vesicles pair, prostate gland single, and bulbourethral glands again paired, right and left दोनों side. ये तीनों मिलके, the three names that we spoke, these are the accessory glands. इनके secretions भी important है, but they are not the main gamete forming glands. Now, in what way are the secretions important? Let us try to have a look at that. Seminal vesicle ke secretions, they are about 65 to 70%. So the main component of semen is from seminal vesicle. Prostate contributes about 25 to 30%. And bulbourethral or Cowper's glands, इनका contribution एकदम ही कम है, 2 to 5% only. Functions क्या है? Seminal vesicle जो substance release करते हैं, जो secretions release करते हैं, they contain fructose. Fructose is very important because it is going to provide to some extent the energy to the sperms to carry out their motion, the flagellar activity, so that they can move up to the ovum. So इसके लिए उनको जो एनर्जी जरूरी है वो सराउंडिंग फ्लूइड से उनको लेना है. स्पर्म का खुद का साइज बहुत छोटा है, it cannot carry the food material with it. So it has to take food, it has to take the energy from the surroundings. And so one important constituent from this is fructose. Now peculiar thing याद रखो, fructose is generally associated with plant kingdom. it is not associated with animals. Animals में usually glucose होता है, fructose plants में ही ज्यादातर होता है, but ऐसे एक rare situation है जहां पे fructose is the molecule that is being released. So presence of fructose can be indicative of presence of semen. इसलिए पुराने जमाने में जब डीएनए फिंगरप्रिंटिंग वगैरह नहीं था तो रेप हुआ है कि नहीं हुआ है, सीमेन कहीं पे डिटेक्ट हो रहा है कि नहीं, इसके लिए फ्रुक्टोज के केमिकल टेस्ट किया करते थे. टुडे इट इज नॉट ऑफ एनी इंपॉर्टेंस. टुडे वी हैव एडवांस्ड टेक्निक्स, बट at one time that was important. But for the sperms, the role is as providing energy. Another important thing to remember is the pH of the secretions of seminal vesicles is slightly alkaline. It is about 8 to 8.5. The reason for this is the overall seminal secretions are expected to be a little alkaline. क्यों alkaline होना जरूरी है? क्योंकि इनके साथ जब sperms deposit हो जाएंगे तो वेजाइना में जहां वो डिपॉजिट होंगे, इन द फीमेल बॉडी इट इज इनसाइड द वेजाइना दैट द सीमेन इज रिलीज्ड टुगेदर विद द स्पर्म्स. व्हेन दैट इज रिलीज्ड, व्हाट वी फाइंड इज द वेजाइना pH is a little acidic. In fact, it is significantly acidic. It can be as low as 3.5 to 4 pH. ऐसे में sperms destroy हो सकते हैं. It will be very difficult for them to carry out their motility, carry out their swimming, to move towards the ovum. In this acidic medium, they will get damaged and destroyed. उनके proteins को कुछ नुकसान हो जाएगा. तो temporarily vaginal pH को एक थोड़े से short duration के लिए उसकी acidity हटाकर थोड़ा alkaline करना जरूरी है, so that the sperms will survive. And so we find this has a slightly alkaline pH. Now, vaginal pH needs to be acidic, otherwise there is a chance of infection for the female. So to protect the female, the vaginal pH is a little acidic. The secretions in the vagina are undergoing decomposition and a few organic acids are being produced, which is what is making that pH a little acidic. So for the female, it is important to have an acidic pH, but for the sperms, it is important to have alkaline pH. इसलिए वेजाइना अपना pH एसिड रखती है. ड्यूरिंग इंटरकोर्स when seminal vesicle secretions and the rest of the semen are released, for a short duration it remains alkaline. Sperm start swimming and then the vagina will come back to its regular pH. So इनका रोल है pH alkalinize करना, sperms के सर्वाइवल के चांसेस बढ़ाना और उनको एनर्जी भी सप्लाई करना in the form of fructose. प्रोस्टेट ग्लैंड के जो सेक्रीशंस है ये हल्के से एसिडिक है. दैट कंटेन्स अ लिटिल बिट ऑफ सिट्रेट और सिट्रिक एसिड इज अ लिटिल एसिडिक, बट इसका ओवरऑल क्वांटिटी कम है. सो ये हल्का सा एसिडिक होते हुए भी ये ज्यादा वॉल्यूम में होने की वजह से ओवरऑल पीएच अल्कलाइन हो जाता है. प्रोस्टेट की तरफ से वी हैव सर्टेन hormonal secretions, some prostaglandins and other secretions, but also mainly citrate. Bulbourethral या Cowper's glands के secretions एकदम कम है, 2 to 5%. They are very very slimy, very very smooth, very slippery. They have a lot of mucus. So these are good for lubrication. Oiling, in simple words, don't write the word oiling in the exam. Lubrication is the technically correct word. Lubrication in simple words means smooth karna, oiling karna. Now, why do we need lubrication? Because during sexual activity, the penis is moved within the vagina backward and forward. That causes a little friction. If there is no lubricating substance, if there is no slightly slippery substance, then this can cause pain. The friction would be painful. It would be a little harsh rubbing, which will be painful for both the partners, male and female. इसलिए थोड़ा सा हल्का सा स्मूथ स्लिपरी सब्सटेंस रिलीज करना जरूरी है. वो काउपर्स ग्लैंड की तरफ से आ रहा है. Also keep in mind the vaginal secretions also are a little lubricating and they are also slippery. So they also provide lubrication. Male की तरफ से Cowper's gland is also trying to provide a little bit of lubrication. Compared to this, vaginal secretion is a little more, so that is actually more effective, but this also is trying to provide its own source of lubrication. So इस तरीके से ये तीन accessory glands और ये accessory duct system and passage of the sperm we have tracked. Passage of the sperm, to revise, within the testes, seminiferous tubule के outlets, they join and branch and rebranch to form a dense network called retitestis. From the retitestis, a dozen or so efferent fine tube-like structures carry the sperms further beyond. Those are the vasa efferentia. The vasa efferentia converge and join towards the top end and form a highly coiled structure called epididymis, broken into three parts: the head, body and tail, or caput, corpus and cauda epididymis. Epididymis as a coiled structure is approximately 6 meters long, so it can store significant amount of sperms, and sperms reside there. They stay there till they are released at the time of sexual activity. From the epididymis, we have a single straight cord-like structure, slightly thick, called as the vas deferens, which moves up towards the superior pole, exits the scrotum, moves along the inguinal canal in the abdominal wall, enters into the abdominal pelvis region, converges towards the midline in the region of the urinary bladder, where two finger-like glands, seminal vesicles, are present. Seminal vesicle के outlets और vas deferens दोनों मिल जाते हैं to form on each side one short ejaculatory duct about 2 to 2.5 centimeters long. The two ejaculatory ducts from right and left side converge in the midline, join up with each other, and simultaneously enter into the urethra, which has got the job of taking the urine from the bladder. Now here the urethra is passing through the prostate gland, so urethra is surrounded by prostate, and that prostatic part of the urethra is joined by, as we said, the two ejaculatory ducts. So यहाँ से आगे यूरिन का पाथवे और स्पर्म्स का और सीमेन का पाथवे कॉमन होगा. Reproductive and excretory pathway is common in the form of the urethra. आगे चल के यूरेथ्रा का penile part भी है within the penis, and prostatic part and penile part के बीच में a short membranous part on the two sides of which are the Cowper's glands. Prostate के secretions also are released. So seminal vesicles के secretions, vas deferens से आए हुए sperms, prostate के secretions, Cowper's glands के secretions, ऐसे सब मिला के in the form of a little bit of a bolus, so something like a collection of all of this, is projected a little forcefully during sexual activity, that we will see a little further. But this is the essential duct system and the accessory glands as well. With this, we have completed our discussion of the male and female, male accessory duct system and the male accessory glands. Male external genitalia includes the penis. A quick look at the structure of the penis. Penis is made up of certain muscle bundles, so let's clear this. The muscle bundles in the penis are smooth muscle bundles in the sense that they are not striated. Striated muscles are voluntary muscles, smooth muscles are involuntary muscles. So these are involuntary muscles, smooth muscles. Smooth muscles we know are spindle shaped, they are not very long. And ऐसे smooth muscles के bundles जो है, इनमें बीच में spaces है. There are small cavities. So ये वाला जो part है बीच में, ये cavity है. Now these cavities are called sinusoids, hollow cavities. These can be filled with blood at a suitable time. They can be filled with blood under pressure. When they get filled with blood under pressure, they swell up. That causes the penis and the muscle to increase in size, increase in firmness and turgidity, and then it becomes possible for the penis to be placed inside the vagina, to be inserted, to be penetrating the vagina. इसके जरिए penis vagina के अंदर it can penetrate, it can make a little firm entry into the vagina. This way intercourse is made possible, और इसके लिए उसका थोड़ा सा firm होना जो है, इसको हम कहते हैं erection. So a tissue which can undergo an erection, which can swell up in size, which can increase in size, which can become a little firm, that we call as erectile tissue. So these muscles are a little erectile and they can take in some blood. Now the muscle bundles that we find over here, one paired bundle called the singular corpus cavernosum, cavernosum, corpus cavernosum, singular, but दो है तो corpora cavernosa. So एक single corpus cavernosum, दोनों मिलके corpora cavernosa. साथ साथ एक और थर्ड बंडल भी है जो थोड़ा सा शुरू में स्लिम है, not very thick, but it at the end opens up and becomes much wider to give rise to a structure called glans penis. All these three bundles, एक ये, दूसरा ये और तीसरा ये, all of them are joined together in a form like this. So 1, 2, and with a slightly different color, third one going like this. This is the constitution of the three bundles. If you take a section at this level, what we will get to see will be one corpus cavernosum, second corpus cavernosum, I can clear this away, and corpus spongiosum. All of this is surrounded by skin and a little bit of connective tissue here and there, a few blood vessels. Skin के आसपास भी अपने कुछ blood vessels हैं. Within the corpus spongiosum is the pathway of the urethra. So urine which is going to be carried through the urethra, that pathway, that tube of the urethra is inside the corpus spongiosum. So this way, within the corpus spongiosum, the urethra will be moving. Corpus spongiosum afterwards opens out and becomes very wide. This part where it is not wide, this part of the penis up to this is called shaft of the penis. And beyond this, जो expanded region है, that is called the glans of the penis. Over all of this, there is a skin covering which is not firmly sticking to the underlying structures. हाथों में अगर आप skin देखोगे, it is firmly sticking to the structures below. You cannot move it too much this way or that way. It is firmly adherent. But over here, it is not firmly adherent. खास करके anterior part, glans के ऊपर जो skin cover है, that part can be completely retracted. It can be pulled behind to come below the glans and exposing the glans at the time of sexual activity. So as the penis increases in size, increases in thickness, increases in length, the glans emerges out and the penis is pulled back. So this part which is covering the glans is called as foreskin or prepuce. So this is foreskin. Fore means आगे का. So आगे का skin part, that is the common word, but more technically correct, it is called prepuce. This part is retractile. It can be pulled behind to expose the glans, so that during sexual activity, the glans will be in contact with the walls of the vagina during intercourse. The glans has sensitive nerves, and so that is an important mechanism to allow the nerves to experience the touch of the vagina. That is a part of the sexual pleasure which a male is expected to get out of sexual activity. So उसके लिए ये skin retract होना जरूरी है. So this is the structure of the penis in general. NCERT and NEET syllabus के लिए penis का detailed structure जरूरी नहीं है. But in general we have discussed this. There are a few other important aspects related to this which not during this session but sometime in the later sessions we will touch upon. We will talk about some of the importances related to the foreskin and the mechanism of the erection of the penis. अभी के लिए आप ये टर्म्स और नाम याद रखिए, कॉर्पस कैवर्नोजम और ये है कॉर्पस स्पंजियोजम. लेट्स राइट दैट, CORPUSSPONGIOSUM, कॉर्पस स्पंजियोजम. So corpus spongiosum will give rise to the glans penis, and urethra will pass through that, and at the tip of the glans it will open out to release the urine and also the semen during sexual activity. So that is the structure of the penis. So the other structure, the scrotum, we have already discussed. Scrotum hangs outside. Because of this, the testes remain outside and the temperature is maintained a little lower. That we call as thermoregulation. The scrotum has in its wall a thin smooth muscle called Dartos muscle, DARTOS. Dartos muscle के contraction से the scrotum can be tightened and the testes can be pulled towards the body if the surrounding is very cold, and if the person is experiencing a lot of warmth, then the dartos muscle will be relaxed, so the scrotum will move a little more loose and the testes will move away from the abdomen so that they can cool down. So this way, thermoregulation, regulating the temperature of the testes 2 to 3 degrees lower than the rest of the main body temperature, abdominal temperature, is important. Otherwise, as we said, the motility and production of sperms can get badly affected. So यहाँ पे हम मेल रिप्रोडक्टिव सिस्टम के कुछ इंपॉर्टेंट डिस्कशन को खत्म कर सकते हैं. अब तक हमने मेल रिप्रोडक्टिव सिस्टम की एनाटॉमी स्टडी करते हुए हमने टेस्टिस और टेस्टिस का डिटेल स्ट्रक्चर, एक्सेसरी ग्लैंड, एक्सेसरी डक्ट सिस्टम इंक्लूडिंग रेटी, वासा एफरेंशिया, द एपिडिडाइमिस, द वास डेफरेंस, ejaculatory ducts and urethra, all of this we have discussed, and the accessory glands, the seminal vesicles, their secretions, the prostate, its secretions, the Cowper's gland or bulbourethral glands, their secretions, in सबके importance, role, functions, और external genitalia में penis का structure and a quick look at what the scrotum is like, ये हमने देख लिया है. यहाँ पे हम मेल एनाटॉमी का, मेल मॉर्फोलॉजी का डिस्क्रिप्शन खत्म कर सकते हैं. आगे हम इसके आगे के सेशंस में मेल्स में फंक्शनिंग कैसे होता है, स्पर्म्स कैसे प्रोड्यूस होते हैं, यानी कि स्पर्मेटोजेनेसिस प्रोसेस कैसे ऑपरेट होता है, ये भी देख लेंगे. दिस लेक्चर वी कैन स्टॉप ओवर हियर. थैंक यू ऑल फॉर लिसनिंग. जय हिंद.